Hey everybody, welcome back to Tuckaway Pints. Today we are down in the seedling start station where I'm going to be talking about what seeds and different varieties of vegetables we plan on growing this year. Okay, so this year I did not order any new seeds. I know that's kind of shocking for a lot of gardeners. This is the time of year where you go through your seeds, place your orders, get everything in all situated for the upcoming growing season. But I have such an abundance of seeds, and really we kind of hit the ground running when we first got here, and I was really eager, ambitious, and probably bit off a little more than I could chew. So I kind of want to use up what stock we have as best as we can, and then maybe next year, most likely next season, we'll be placing another large order and kind of work through those seeds to kind of stretch us a couple seasons. So, but let's begin by going through all the vegetables and stuff. Primarily, I do have some flowers planned as well, but mostly vegetables. So I have this container. If you haven't been following us for a while, I got this container about a season or two ago. It's a really nice clear case. It latches in the front, has a cool handle so I can carry it around with me. But then when I open it, it comes with these little plastic cases, and I use them to organize different varieties of seeds. So like I have my beans in one, I have tomatoes in another, melons in one, onions, brassicas are in one, so I kind of have things kind of categorized differently, and that way things are kind of neat together and not just strewn about in a container, because believe it or not, when I first started, all my seeds were in this container, so everything was just shoved into this little box, so I needed to get organized. So, and it protects them, keeps them stored safe, dry. It's got essentially two barriers to get through whatever wants to ruin these seeds, but I haven't had any issues with this yet. It's pretty sturdy, but it's also lightweight as well, so I can carry the whole thing out in the yard with me if I absolutely have to, or if I gotta move it somewhere, so it's really nice that way. So to start with our growing season of 2025, I probably won't go through every single variety with you guys. We'll figure all that stuff, like I'll introduce you to all our varieties as we go, because I want to bring you along when we do actually start our planting and transplanting and all that stuff. So this year I'd like to try and bring you guys more frequently and kind of more in depth with things. So, but just to kind of give you a quick rundown of what I did, I guess, the process of me going through all my seeds and kind of organizing it and just getting like that mental note. And I even have another tool. I don't have it with me, but it's something I'm looking forward to talking to you guys with. This is a big life-saving tool for me. It cuts down a lot of hours, a lot of brain work to figuring out the dates for my seeds, when to start them, when to move them, when to, harvest them, all that stuff. So, but I'll get to that in a little bit. So I guess the first step for me was to obviously see what kind of seeds I had. Having them in these containers, first of all, really helped me just kind of dive in right away. I didn't have to sit, empty out all my seeds from like a box like this, categorize everything, and then start going through it. So right now I was just able to kind of pick up a container, start with beans, or pick up corn, let's start with the corn, so it kind of just made it a little easier to just get to the point. So once I went through all like my varieties, like these are my beans, so once I went through all my beans, kind of just looked through to not only see how full each packet was, but also which varieties I had successes with in the past seasons, and then also which varieties we enjoyed the best. So, and with beans specifically, there's kind of different types of beans. You get your bush beans, you get your pole beans, and we favor the bush beans, but I do like to have a small spot for pole beans. So I go through and I just select the majority of bush beans varieties that we have, and then maybe the one or two varieties of pole beans that we do have, I'll put maybe one or two plants out there. And then that's my next step, is deciding how much of each plant or each variety that I want to grow. And that's why I have these little note cards. I kind of just keep them in my container. That way when it's time to actually start planting, I kind of know where I left off. I know what I was thinking at that point in time, which varieties I want, and how much of each variety I want to plant. So, and when it comes to me deciding how much of each variety I want to plant, I kind of gauge it by obviously how much we enjoy that said fruit or vegetable. But then also I think about the success of it, you know, how successful have we been in the past, and then also the amount of space that I have for that plant. And that's another battle I've been personally fighting with myself, because I want to grow all these things, but I gotta really take in consideration the amount of space that I truly have. I mean, it's one thing to think I can just put it there, but as the season goes, it might outgrow that space and make it very hard for not only that plant, but other plants around it to grow. So I really kind of have to dial it back and discipline myself when it comes to the spacing and the number of plants that we're going to be actually planting versus the yield of that plant. So all these things to consider. But yeah, essentially I just kind of went through each variety, kind of looked at what I all had, and we sat down together, actually a lot of us did, and discussed what varieties we prefer, what we don't like to eat, things like that. So it made it really easy, made the planning go really, really fast, which makes it so much better. So this container system is like half the battle. So my next tool that I want to talk to you guys more about is the software that I use to help map out my growing season. Not only with the different varieties, keeping those in order, but also when I can start planting them, when I can start transplanting them, and then also when I can start harvesting them as well. And the program, it's called Seedtime. They do have a membership. I am not affiliated with them whatsoever, but I am a proud member, and I'm very happy with the outcome of this product. Helps me out significantly. This is the second year I'm using it, and it just makes this process so much easier. And like I said, it's just less brain power that you have to use when you're focusing on something like this. You can kind of worry about something else and just be satisfied that this is taken care of for you and it's ready for you when you need it during the growing season. But anyway, basically what this software is, like I was saying, you can put in a specific variety of your crop, you know, say sweet corn, you know, peaches and cream sweet corn or something like that, and then it'll gauge that specific variety, and it'll tell you when you can start planting it, whether that's indoors or outdoors, and when it'll tell you how long it takes to germinate and all that stuff, and then it'll even tell you when you can transplant it if it's indoor grow, or when to cultivate it if it's an outdoor grow, and then when it's time to harvest based on your location. You will have to put in your location information. That way it can tell you when your average last frost date is and things like that. So it's really exciting, and a lot of it is a calendar format, so you can gauge how many days you want for seeding, how many days you want for harvesting, you know, how wide of a window you prefer based on your schedule and things like that. So I just think it's an amazing tool, and if you're able to, go take a look, check it out, just, you know, might help you out a lot. So and there's actually, I haven't played too much with it, but there is another like portion of that program where you can actually map out your garden. You can kind of do like a schematic or a blueprint of your garden, and then you can select where you want your vegetables to grow, kind of plot out your garden map for the season. So that's kind of cool. I'm kind of looking forward to playing with that a little bit this season, because I've just hand drawn all my garden maps. So this year I kind of just want to check out what that looks like. So, but those are my primary tools that I use to help plan my garden season. It's this trusty clear container. I can have all my seeds organized, everything's in order. We are currently going to start working through the stock so I can replenish everything next season. And then also been using Seedtime software to help me really map out my growing season. So this helps me keep my seeds in order and organized, and then that Seedtime tool helps me really essentially just tells me when to start planting, when to harvest, and it just makes it easier so I don't have to sit and think about it. So, especially when it comes time to planting. But I hope these little tools and tips might help you guys plan your growing season, make things a little easier and smoother for you. This is just what we're doing here on the homestead. It kind of works for us and the systems that we have in place. So, and I figured it'd just be a nice time to share that with you guys. And like I said, hopefully I can help you guys out. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I appreciate the time. So don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know if there's any fun little hacks or systems that you guys do when it comes to planting your garden. And also definitely don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on what we'll be growing this season. So, alright you guys, thanks again.